Today, um, in honor of Rickey Henderson, I'm going to open up a 1980 cello pack. This one I've had for almost 20 years, probably. Um, but let's open it. I'm going to talk about Rickey Henderson for a little bit. So if you want to fast forward the talking part and just get to the pack opening, I'll put the timestamp down below in the description of where the pack opening starts. But with all my favorite athletes, celebrities, I'm really not a fan of too many celebrities. It's out of anybody, Rickey is the one that almost brought me to tears for so many reasons. Everybody knows my favorite baseball players are Brett, Schmidt, Garvey, Rickey Henderson, and then top five of favorite athletes, then throw Joe Montana in there. So those are my top five. And all of them were still alive. And, you know, this last year we lost Pete Rose, we lost Willie Mays, which was really sad. But like with Willie Mays, amazing person, maybe the best all time, but I never saw him play. And Pete Rose, it was kind of the tail end of his career that I saw him play. But Rickey, out of all my favorites, so the A's were my favorite team for like 35 years. And Rickey was the first good player that they ever had. I mean, I started paying attention to the A's maybe in 81, 82, right around there. They stunk. They had nobody. Who did they have? They had that great, Billy Ball start, which was just a little bit before I started um, following baseball in 81 when Billy Martin was their manager, and they got out of the gates amazing, winning however many straight and just doing amazing. But I mean, their star players were Steve McCaddy, Mike Davis, Dwayne Murphy, Jeff Burroughs. They sucked. And then Rickey comes along, and like, so with collecting baseball cards, I mean, he came along earlier than that. He came along in 79, but collecting baseball cards, all the all-star cards that you would get would be, all-star cards of Steve Carlton and Andre Dawson and Johnny Bench, Pete Rose, Mike Schmidt, Dale Murphy. Those were the all-star cards. Like whether it be in the 70s with the little all-star insignia, Reggie Jackson with the little, in 78 with the little all-star little plaque on his cards. And then in the early 80s, then when you had separate all-star cards, there were no A's on all-star cards. And then, but Rickey was just, he fast became my favorite. And much too young. I mean, the guy's the fitness of how the physique of somebody. I mean, he could outplay probably most 35-year-olds. And just as a person, he wasn't like any other athlete, even some of the more humble ones. He had just a simplicity about him, an innocentness, I mean, even though he's one of the greatest and a Hall of Famer, he was so down to earth. I don't know if this is true, but somebody told me, like, when he started getting sick last week, so he has rental properties, he was mowing the lawn at one of his rentals. And if that's true, that's insane. Name me one athlete, one celebrity who would do that, who would be doing that. That's how he was. Too young and so real. What an amazing human being. And that's like when Burt Reynolds is probably my favorite actor all time. He was everything, car race movies and things, and one of my favorite top three favorite movies of all time are Smoking the Bandit and Cannonball Run. Burt Reynolds was everything, and then he died too young, and that was a shocker. But out of everybody, Rickey Henderson really is the one that would shake me up the most. And he was so much my favorite that he was the first card I ever bought that I probably spent more than $1. And so I don't know if this is the exact one, because luckily I have quite a few Rickey Henderson rookies. But in 1983, I went to Paul's Coin Shop, which was a very crooked card dealer downtown where I grew up. And in 83, I spent $6.50. I don't know if this is the exact one. It might be. $6.50 for a Rickey Henderson rookie. Got home, my mom flipped out. $6.50. It'd be as if one of my kids today spent like $75 on, let's say, a Star Wars sticker. It's a piece of paper. It's a piece of cardboard. My mom flipped out. That's how much I liked Rickey Henderson. That this to me, for me in my eyes, and just the yellow and everything of this, and I mean, how many rookie cards have such an awesome action shot like that? To me, in my eyes, this is almost maybe as iconic as a 52 Mantle, just in my eyes, for my, visual appeal. This, to me, is one of the most iconic, beautiful cards ever. So $6.50 in 1983, bought a Rickey Henderson rookie, which just, packs back then were 30 cents. And cards, you go to the card shop, flip through the binders, everything was like $1.25, 50 cents. So, but I picked this up. That's how much Rickey, And then, so in 83, 82, I started collecting, buying packs, 82 Fleer. 83 was the first Topps cards I bought. And this was the only good A's card you could get. And just this also is a very iconic, beautiful card from 83 Topps. And like I said, growing up, there were no all-star cards of Giants or A's players. And those were my teams growing up. But until 83, when you had the Rickey Henderson, an A's player on an all-star card, wow. Like that didn't happen. In 80, 81, 82, I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of any A's or Giants player that had an all-star card or an all-star insignia. And it just, wow. There's an A's player with an all-star card. He must be amazing. So as a kid, it was everything to me. And then leaders cards. Of course, Steve McCaddy was on the 82 Topps ERA leaders in the strike-shortened 81 season. He was one of the ERA leaders. But then also then in 83, you get Rickey's on leader cards. On the A's team leaders card, the batting and pitching leader of that team, Rickey is on there with his .267 batting average. So, just man, that he's gone. That's, I don't know what more to say, but just he was amazing. I remember when he got traded to the Yankees, and one of my first cards of him in a Yankees uniform, I made the point of going and buying the 85 Topps traded Rickey Henderson, which was the first card I ever saw of him in a Yankees uniform. And then he came back to the A's, and they won a World Series with him. And it just, man, I mean, even in his 40s, he was still playing. Just sad. That's all I could say. Just, it is the one athlete or celebrity who almost brought me to tears when I found out Saturday morning that he died Friday night. This poster I got the fall of the year he broke the stolen base record. This was in my bedroom all the way up until I left for college, and I threw away most of my posters and things, but this is one I kept, and now it's up in my house, and it has been since I moved in. I don't know how I got this. It had to have been a mail away, a send away. I don't know if it was cereal box or something. But that's the poster from when he broke the single season stolen base record. And had it ever since. Rickey was everything. And God bless him and rest in peace, Ricky. Let's get some trains out of the way so we can open that 1980 pack. All right. Make some room. Put a couple of the Henderson cards up in the background. All right. So we're going to open this 1980 pack. And then after I open this, I'm going to show 3 or 4 card store pickups that I grabbed today. Let's see if we can get some glare off of these. Glare? How about if I just... Yeah, look at that. No glare. So we got Jeff Leonard on the front. And I'm just going to go back to front. We know Jeff Leonard's on the front. On screen, right? All right. I'm going to try to not look at the next card. Try not to. On the back, there was Mike Squire. So this is cello pack. So I think there was it 18, 22, or 28 cards in the, it probably says on the front, but I already have it upside down in this year's cello pack. So nice shape. Don Hood. It's the back of 1980. I saw Jackson. I'm like, oh, Reggie. Nope. Ron Jackson. I saw Willie. I'm like, Willie McCovey. But nope, it's Willie Norwood. Cool. Beautiful shape cards. Just all of them look to be a little off-center towards the left. This one's a little off-center down, but very sharp. Very pleased with them. A lot of times you don't get the best condition cards out of cello packs because sometimes the plastic wrap is so tight. Steve Ontiveros. That one's centered up kind of nice. Rich Hebner. And then when I talk about the first cards that were left in my house by a neighbor kid, one of them I remember in that stack was Paul Splittorff, and it stood out because my first Pee Wee League team that I played on when I was 7 or 8 was the Royals. So I remember this card. This guy passed away too young also. I'm going to say about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Rob Wilfong. The Mendoza line. Mario Mendoza. Oh, he was under the Mendoza line in 1979. Ralph Garr. This is somebody who's kind of forgotten, and I didn't realize, until you look back on his stats. In the mid-70s, this guy was at least a four-tool player. A lot of hits. This one's nicely centered, too. A lot of hits. A lot of, they don't show stolen bases on here, but good average. 340, 325. Over 100 runs. I don't know what became of him. If he got hurt or how or why he faded. Art Howe. Wow, these are gorgeous centered. If we could pull a superstar or Hall of Famer with them being this centered. Come on. We're almost at the halfway point where the gum is. Mike Parrott. Gil Flores. Oh, there's the gum. Not too bad of shape, so Kevin Cobell didn't even eat through to the other side, which is a good sign. Kevin Cobell. All right, there we go, Hall of Famer. Jack Morris. Ooh, it's got a nick at the top. Bummer. Jack Morris was the uncle of one of the kids who grew up in my neighborhood. Larry Herndon. Ron Davis. Jim Wright. That one's off center, way the other way. Tom Houseman. There we go. One of my favorite Winfield cards. That's pretty. I like that card. I like him as Padres uniform cards. That is a nice card. Happy with that pull. It's 2 Hall of Famers so far. That's, it's maybe a touch better than the odds of when you open a pack, an older pack. Ron Pruitt. Lynn McLaughlin. Don Baylor, decent semi-star. Mickey Lolich, good long career. Oh, and Tom Hume came with him. Lolich, known more for his years with the Tigers. And Tom Hume, which we just saw. And Jeff Leonard on the front. It's not bad. We got Winfield and Jack Morris. No Rickey rookie. But, God bless you, Rickey. You were a hero of mine growing up. Oh, I was going to show quickly of course, I love these. And he gave me a deal just because I bought all these together, so I got them for less than what's shown on these. Hostess cards. This one's a 74 Stargell. I love these. The Kellogg's. I love these Kellogg's cards and the Hostess cards and all, a lot of the different oddball stuff. Look at that. This one's from 70. I mean, a 54-year-old card. And, just, these are so cool. I think they're way undervalued. Ernie Banks. And a 1970 Al Kaline. I mean, just such cool pictures. And if you move them around, they look like, see the background behind them? That's so cool. So I like these. I like these a lot. So that's what I picked up today. But thank you so much for watching and sharing in the memories of Rickey Henderson. Just can't believe he's gone.